not my skill set, nor do I want to learn it.
Sometimes, because I put up stuff which I kind of test
in the wilderness. I don't know if I was the best one to teach them that. However, and although it was a really
that when you said, I was like, oh,
the baby out with the bathwater.
I do know where that.
So for me, rather than doing something half-heartedly or like just half.
Yay!
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. And, it's just a pleasure. And I can say this, this is our first show for January 2025.
January
2025. And just to see your smiling, wonderful, beautiful, amazing self. So we're good. I'm going to say this, and I want to let Miss Queen take it over here because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm excited because I know it's our show. We co-host it, but we have no guests today. It's going to be us. We're going to be giving you a lot of good stuff, good golden nuggets and everything. But I have to say, we were talking in the virtual green room. We were like, you know what? We're doing like the professional shows out there. So usually shows around, the holiday season, you see a lot of maybe reruns or rebooting
things.
Well, there's a reason for that because it's called taking a break.
Exactly.
And guess what? We did the same thing. And hopefully you enjoy some of the wonderful shows we had that throughout the year, because I picked a few of them throughout the year to do some, just replays. To get to know the guests that we had on before. And we'll probably bring them on again a few times for this year. But, it's just good to see and get to know people. If you didn't get it the first time, you had a chance to look at it again. So, yeah, we're like the pros now. We're the pros.
Absolutely. Because, we're in our 6th year.
Wow. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just cooking along.
Says a lot.
There are a lot of shows out there that last 1 or 2. Yeah. Some last 3 or 4. Some last many years. But we're in our 6th year. And I am so proud of that we've consistently been on the air.
Yeah.
And one of the statistics of success, which is what we're going to be talking about a little bit today, of going into a new year, that 90% of success is just showing up.
Yeah.
Showing up for yourself, for your audience, for what you believe, for yourself. Those things are so important. Just showing up, being present.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, Barb, because a lot of times, people feel like showing up is showing up perfect. And you want people to know so much. No, that's not saying that you don't want to do perfection. And that's a whole different story. But you want to just show up to say, hey, I did this. Sometimes it just takes you to say, look, I made it. I made it to the next step here. And that's saying a whole lot because you could have just said, forget it, threw out the towel, sat down, just said, I'm done. And a lot of us sometimes want to do that, right? But when you just show up to say, you know what, I feel the next level. I need to move to the next level. So I'm showing up in my best right now. Eventually it's going to get more and more to the, next level. But at least you showed up the first time. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And it's not about being, I struggle with this so often is people saying, well, but what if it's not perfect?
See?
Well, so what if it's not perfect? Because you're not looking for perfection. You're looking for excellence. Did you do the best that you could do in the situation that you were in or that you are in? Present time. What are you doing right now to move your life, move your business, move your family, move whatever XYZ is forward a step?
Yeah.
Do it with excellence. And strive for excellence because you can't always, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
Life happens.
And just like I say this a lot of times too with people, I say, it's not the point, you talking about, the race of life. Some people use that as a, they say, well, the race of life, you have to be there. You have to get to that mark. You have to get to that goal, and people be running. I'm like, you know what? I always put it in a different perspective. I said, okay, yes, you're in your life. You're doing what you're doing. You're showing up, as Barbara said. But sometimes you show up running quick. Sometimes you show up skipping. Sometimes you show up walking. Sometimes you show up really slow walking. Sometimes you show up dragging a little bit. Sometimes.
Right. And but sometimes you're crawling.
And sometimes you're crawling, what I was going to say. But overall, at least you're not sitting on the sidelines. That's what I always tell people. As long as you're not sitting on the sidelines, look at everybody doing the different effects of what they're trying to get to. You're still in the race some kind of way. You're still in it.
Right.
That's what I always tell people.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why one of the things that we really wanted to talk today about is, setting. It's coming up to that kind of year. I mean, this is the beginning of the year. People, have you set a resolution?
There we go.
Chances are, yeah, you have. However, there's a difference between setting a resolution and setting an intention for the year. Resolutions, it's like they're concentrating on a goal. And for me, and setting an intention is a feeling. Like one of the intentions that I have been using lately in the morning is, okay, my intention today is to allow miracles to unfold. What miracle is going to unfold in my life today? It could be a small miracle. It could be a big miracle. But my intention is to be open to it. Whatever God has for me in my life. And when we can be that open, that's why setting an intention, it can be so much more. It's focusing on the process of who you are and who you are becoming rather than the outcome.
I like that.
An outcome is arbitrary. Because we already talked about it. Life happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't expect the outcome you got. But when you set an intention to enjoy whatever outcome comes,
there you go.
Then it doesn't matter what the outcome is. We can either rejoice in it, or we can be sad in it, or we can ask for help in it, whatever that looks like.
Or learn from it.
Whatever that looks like. Or my biggest thing, learn from it.
Yeah, I love, Barbara, that you brought up this topic that we're talking about today, because I love how you said focusing on the process and not the outcome, because I feel like a lot of us get stressed out soon as the first of the year comes. And the first thing is because everybody's saying it. Did you get your vision board done? Did you get your goals set? Did you get, everything? Did you get your business goal? All that's coming out of everybody's mouth and in your head too, because you're like, okay, I got to get my goals set. So all of a sudden I feel like this pressure is on. And then while you're setting the goals, well, okay, for this goal, I got to make da-da-da-da in this quarter. I got to do this quarter. I got to do this in the second quarter, all that. And then there's more pressure. So when you think about just the process of it, whatever outcome comes out of that, it's gonna be, to me, it's like a surprise with a little bow on it. So it's like, okay, I did this process, I focused on this process, I worked on this, and now the outcome is either one, maybe it didn't work, that's okay, because now you found
okay.
Or it did work, but it worked in a different manner than what you thought about when you first put the goal together. Or three, you learned from something that now you can share, maybe even share with others. So, so when you look at that, you see how many different outcomes come from that, than just that one outcome that you're just like, trying to focus on, because then you won't be so disappointed either.
Well, the thing is, though, it makes you more flexible.
Yeah. To be open. Yeah.
To be open to the process. I mean, and there have been several times over 2024 that it was like, why was I, thinking to myself, why am I struggling with this? Yeah. And the answer was because I wasn't supposed to be doing it.
See, every time you say that, bro, you say it, it's like, okay, it was that simple.
It was that simple. I was not supposed to be doing it. So what, right now, I'm talking to somebody here right now. What is something that you're doing that you really shouldn't be doing it? Because you're either, number one, you don't have the skill set and don't want the skill set. It's a different matter, because there are some things right now that I am learning to do that they're kicking my butt. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. They're kicking my butt a little bit, but I really want to learn them.
Learn it. Yeah. So
I want to have that skill set. Mm-hmm. But some people are going after something that somebody else is telling them that they should have, that they need that skill. Mm-hmm. Well, really?
Yeah.
Do you really need it, or can you farm it out?
So see, you'd be dropping those gold nuggets. I'm telling you, the part I always tell people, just like you always say, please listen, give suggestions to everybody that's watching us, that, don't push it, because if somebody else is pushing you, that is so true, Barbara, what you just said. Somebody's expectations for you is getting put on you. And it's like, well, wait a minute now, this is not even a part of what I'm supposed to be doing. But then they're pushing you, you got to do it. You're supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to be doing it. And like you said, most of the time, sometimes it's either you learn it just to understand what it is and move on, or you shouldn't be doing it all. You should be delegating to somebody that's the expert in that area.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, one of the things that I've worked on in 2024 was my logo. Went through probably 30 iterations of it, but I now love my new logo, which you're going to be seeing. However, all I saw was, ooh, I like this. Ooh, no, I don't like that. Ooh, I like this color. No, I don't like this. That's all I had to do. The graphics of it, there's no way I would have had either, number one, the skill or the patience or the desire. And yet Amy, my girl that's doing it, loves doing it. That's where she gets her jam from, where she gets her mojo from, loves doing it. Mm-hmm. And yet she looks at me and says, how do you do podcasts? Aren't you nervous? Like, no, I love doing this. In my wheelhouse. Because we all have our own gifts and talents. So why are you trying to be somebody else?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was interesting. You said that about, everybody has their different gifts and what they like to do and don't like to do. So at my day job, yes, I got a day job too. Yeah. In insurance, we have, I'm on a team with like 10 other people. And now they have a new thing where twice out the month, we have to basically present something new coming, either learning something, tip for something in regards to insurance, of course, or, customers or whatever, some kind of tip we have to present at least for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So half the team is like
freaking out
because they don't like public speaking. They don't like all that. Then you got me.
Exactly.
That basically just graduated and said, I love it. That's what I do.
Love it.
So now, and people have a show outside of the company. So they were like texting me and they were like, Barbara, I need some help. I hate this. I don't like talking in front of anybody. Now, if it was just all of us talking in a group, it was nice and lunch or something like that, And I said, you got this. I said, what? And then so 3 of them, I basically, for 2 weeks, first of all, I said, you can do it. You know me, I'm always a cheerleader for everybody.
Right.
And then I gave them little tips. About it.
Get tips.
And I'm telling you, Barbara, I was so proud of them because we all did it already one time. Because we have to do it, so, circulating around. And after they did it, they texted me, they said, Barbara, wasn't that bad? I said, no. I said, because think about it, half the people that was in the group is all of us on the team. And if we're all nervous, we're not going to sit there and talk about you. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So that's one thing. And then it's basically, think about that. This is giving you another curve of learning to help you, not with just within the group, but to help with your clients, the people that you talk to. It's just like that given, skill that you get extra skill. So, yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm telling you about, they took it in, but then they told me this. They said, okay, we did it here, but I don't like this like forever, like do it all the time.
Yeah. And here's you and I that love doing it.
Yeah, they said you keep what you do, Barbara. I'm glad you like that. Thank you for the training.
Exactly.
But that's
Exactly. The thing is, though, when people start doing something that's a little bit different, it impacts their behavior because it adds more confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, if I can learn how to do that, then maybe they might learn how to do the next thing. So it makes it easier the next time something comes around. Like I remember when I first started speaking, I started using like 50-second little videos on Instagram. That's how I started. And it would take me half an hour sometimes to push the go button to get over that. And now, hey, somebody says to me, gee, Barb, can you do a presentation in 10 minutes? Sure. Let me just gather some notes and
let's go for it.
Let's just do it. So that impacts your behavior. So when you because it just, the thing is that when you do one thing, they in fact, I'm just going to read this to you. They did a study of Stanford University. When people set an intention to learn something or rather than a resolution type of thing they're doing, they're 50% more likely to sustain a new habit over the next 6 months.
Wow.
So when you learn how to do something new, and Tripod is trying to move me around here. This Tripod, she's our mascot. She's on my lap, and now she's trying to move my microphone.
That's our mascot.
That's why we just love doing live things. Anyways, but it is absolutely the truth. Because when you change in one little thing, when you advance in one little thing, if you grow in one little thing, guess what? What happens? So this is the question. What happens when you throw a rock in a pond?
Ripple.
The ripples.
Ripple effect.
Well, so when you learn something new, that causes a ripple effect in your life.
Yes.
When you learn something new. When you get out of your comfort zone, because on the other side of your comfort zone is everything that you want. However, you have to. It's like with us in the personal development world, we call it being on the edge. People will get to the edge, and you have one of two choices. You're either going to step off into the unknown, or you're going to retreat back onto the step.
Yeah, either. Or
it's your choice. There's only two choices.
Yeah.
Well, what if I don't make a decision? Well, that is making a decision because you've decided to stay where you are.
And sometimes I ask people, "How's that going for you?" Because
how's that going for you? Exactly. How's that going for you?
I know they're like,
yeah, and people think so often. It's like, well. No, there is no buts.
There's no buts.
You either do it or you don't. Either go forward, either take a step forward, walk off the edge, and then how many people have said to you, well, that wasn't so bad to do it.
Yeah. And most of the time it happens. Yeah. It's like, oh, you know what? That
wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then of course you start growing and growing and growing a little bit until you get to the next edge.
Yeah, so then you're like,
it's but the thing is though, as you grow, you are going to have so many more opportunities.
Yes.
Opportunity is on the other side of the edge. To do something great, to get back into mindfulness, be present with your children, be present with, it's like learning how to play a video game that your children play. Well, learn how to play it.
Yeah.
Do something. Do something.
Yeah. I think we both agree, Barbara, that we always say, you should be forever learning until, I always say until we get our wings.
Yeah. Until we get our rings.
Yeah, because we should be moving in every situation in life just to learn stuff, just to grab stuff, just to get a hold of stuff, the skills. And then what I always look at it too, not just to, increase your knowledge, increase your being and stuff, but then to help others and help them out. It's just like I did with going back to the job with the speaking. Right. I mean, they was literally, one lady, she was terrified. She was going to tell she was telling the manager, she said, I can't do this. She said, I can't do this. She said, I'm going to just either throw up.
Right. And you might, whatever. And that's okay.
And I said, that's okay, but just don't do it on the screen. I would just say, turn and put something next to you. She started cracking up. I always make people laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so you just have to just take the unknown. Because I always say, out of everything, if you move forward, like you said, on the edge or whatever, the only thing can happen is, maybe it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. You found it didn't work. Right. So we move on to something else. But this maybe, like Barbara always says, maybe it does work.
It does.
And it looks even better than what you're doing now.
People are so afraid of change.
Yeah.
And they're actually afraid of the change itself. Well, what if I'm not me anymore? Well, you might have a new version of you that you like better.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we do that we can do that every day. Like I work in the wellness space and I work with late career business professionals, and I want them to have a future of unlimited wellness in everything that they do.
Yes.
They need to step into it.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is so scary. And what the biggest thing that people fear? What are people going to say? What are other people going to say? What are people going to think if I do that?
Yeah. And see, that's like the biggest thing, like you said, Barbara.
Biggest thing. One of the big things. What are people going to say? When I step into doing that. They're going to, they're thinking, they're going to think that I'm better than them. They're going to think that I think that I'm better than them. All of those, they put all of those things. And because now they're concentrating on the external things.
Yeah. And not
rather than on the inner things.
Yes.
We get to become the people that we get to become. It's a choice.
And it's up to us alone to make that choice. And you know how many times have people probably, and I'm going to include myself in this, have past certain chances or time where you just let people get in your head to say, well, what they're going to think about it, what they're going to say, they're going to say this, they're going to da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you just don't do it. You just be like, no, that's
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time, just a couple of months ago, I did a Facebook Live on taking chances of just putting yourself out there to do a live video or whatever. And that is the biggest thing. And so that was the question. When have you not done something out of fear and then afterwards went, why didn't I just bite the bullet and do it? And every person that talked to and that commented went, yeah, I've done that. We've all done it. We've all done it. And then of course we had to live with the regret of why didn't I do it when I had the chance?
Yeah.
So I'm to the point now where if you don't like something that I'm doing, then it's your issue, not mine. And so I want to live my life to the best of me.
Yes.
And whatever the best of me is in God's hands, not in my hands. It's the way I'm to do the work. Yes, absolutely. But we all have bents and leanings, and just step into those. What we always talk about, do something, find the thing that makes your heart sing.
Yeah, I love that.
It makes your heart sing. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And people get so bent out of shape of what they're not.
Yeah, yeah. We waste so much time and energy. That's what my new thing has been, and people have been noticing that about me lately now, Barbara, where, if I'm having a conversation with somebody or if I'm working on a project or whatever's going on, and if it takes long to the point where we're talking about something over and over again, I'm like, okay, you know what? We don't have this time to waste. I said, either we're going to do this We're going to, and if we don't understand it, we're going to find a way to figure it out and table it somewhere, or we move forward. But sitting here for 2 or 3 hours, just going on and on and on and on and on, that to me is wasted time. There's so much time that we want to take on understanding, doing other things, because, I just feel like that's more important, So people be like, oh, you just cut us off. I said, no, it's not cutting. It's just, okay, let's look at what we're doing here, and we need to make a decision. Something needs to happen, like I said, So,
and that's part of what happens when people set resolutions rather than intentions, because there's pitfalls. And resolutions have pitfalls. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of the pitfalls of setting a resolution. Because, stop doing it.
Focus on the process. Going right back. Not
the process.
Which is purple.
Yeah.
So can we just get this together?
Yeah. And because so much of it is the power of your language.
Words are powerful. There you go, Barbara.
Words are powerful.
Yeah, please say that again.
I can't is the pitfall, biggest pitfall. I can't do that.
Oh. Yeah, that is the biggest. I can't.
Take those words out of your vocabulary.
Yes. Words are powerful. So we're going to talk more about that after we come from our break.
And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and, being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us, because we're the one little bit of hope that they have, to have a warm meal in their bellies, and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
And we're back.
We are back. And you are watching the Time to Shine Happiness Show.
If
and you know what? And if you're just joining us, I'm Barbara Ellison. I am founder of Total Wellness Playroom for the best version of your life. And it's not just about you. It's the best, it's about all of you. Not just you, the future you, that we all have a vision of who our future is, what we want our future person to look like. So it's about all of you.
Yes.
Every bit of you.
So true. And just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Barbara J. Beckley. If you're just chiming in on the second part of our show, I am basically a purpose and visibility strategist. And I just want people to really, really deep understand their purpose while they're on this earth, because you were put here for a reason. Don't never think that you don't have a reason for being alive in this world. And then after that, you got to show up, right? We were talking about a little earlier, if you missed it. You have to have that visibility so people get to see your gifts and what you bring to the world. And also, I want to do a quick thing. Shout out to our sponsor. That was Help Heal Humanity. We just played their video. Please go to their website. It's helphealhumanity.com. They're just doing some lovely things for the world. And they're just helping out so many children that are in need for food and shelter. So I just wanted to put that out there. So Barbara, what's up next? We've been talking some good stuff.
Well, we've been talking about, setting an intention or setting a resolution. And really, statistically, 80% of the resolutions fail in the first month.
Yeah, every time you say that, I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. And part of it is because we set specific. Okay, so like I'll give you an example. I want to lose 10 pounds. If you're saying that and you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever it is, I want to lose 5 pounds. Well, okay, so now you're now January. So now it's January 25th, and you've gained 2.
Yeah.
Where did your resolution go? It's like, the thing is, so rather the intention could be that you want to cultivate a better relationship between food and exercise. That's an intention. Mm-hmm. So therefore, when you set an intention, your chances are that's more on the process, which is what we've talked about in the first part. Mm-hmm. Focus on the process rather on the inner, rather on the process of getting it done. The thing is, because most resolutions, these are what we're going to talk about, some of the pitfalls of setting a resolution, is because they focus on the external achievements. So we just talked about what happens when you don't make it to the achievement. Mm-hmm. Discouragement sets in, especially if it's not immediately visible. Yes. If you don't get, like we all talk about the ROI, the return on investment. Well, what happens if you don't get the return on investment right away, or when you think you should? And right now, so many people are feeling burnt out, unhappy, because they know they're not living their best life. They know it. And yet that setting an intention helps them to change it. Yeah. Rather than working on an unrealistic goal. And because most of the resolutions, I need to lose 10 pounds, or I need to do this, I need to do that. And what happens is most of those things are abandoned because it's all rooted in self-criticism. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not making as much money as Joe Blow is. Mm-hmm. And that's where the power of language comes in.
Yeah. So just I just want to make sure, because Miss Wonderful, Amazing Queen Barbara Ellison, as always, she brings these wonderful topics. I got to give her credit where credit's due. What we talk about, and really trying to understand the process more so than the outcome, so you don't have to be, basically upset or get like discouraged, or just say, forget it. Like going back to the 2 pounds. So you didn't lose, so you gained 2 pounds. Some people, the majority, because we looked at statistics, we've been looking at statistics and stuff, would say, what, I'm done. I gained 2 pounds. I'm done. This is not working. I did everything I could. I changed the food groups. I did everything. Right. And then they go back. So then the 20% people, I'm just putting this is me just making up to people understand the percentages. Yeah. Say, but you know what? Maybe I need to tweak something. Maybe I need to change something around. Maybe change some more water this day, or maybe I retain some water, and that's why I have the 2 pounds. You never know. Exactly. Maybe I go to the doctor and do a whole physical and see what's going on, because sometimes it's not just about food. So
exactly. Yeah. And that's what the difference is focus on the process, because so often we look at what's wrong with us.
All the time.
That there's something wrong with us that needs to be fixed. We do not need to be fixed. We need to evolve and grow and just work on those core values that we want to align our life with.
Yes.
What do you want out of your life? And then what inspired action can you take to move yourself forward? Even one step.
Yeah. And just to add to that, Barbara, who can maybe help in your situation?
Exactly.
And don't be paralyzed. I'm gonna put it like that because we paralyze ourselves sometimes.
Whoa.
Well, we don't want nobody. I don't want nobody to know I'm trying to do this. And if I tell somebody, then what? Here we go with everybody's looking at me and what, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But what's more important? You getting healthy. Let's not just talk about losing weight, but just healthy in general. Okay.
Exactly.
Or saying, okay, I have to worry about what everybody said if I go to this particular coach or I go to this particular doctor or whatever. You're trying to get yourself better so you can be better for others.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, though, so often people don't have the others around them. They isolate themselves. Yeah. And we tend to do it to ourselves. Been there, done that. Where, well, what am I going to do if I like this past summer, I had a bit of a financial crunch just because one of my investments got tied up in red tape and what am I going to do? But and the thing is, I have learned so much about resilience, about persevering, of getting rid of the things that weren't serving me. It made me look at what I was spending money on. Am I really using this tool?
Yeah.
Or was it just a fun thing to have? And I let a few of my fun tools let them go. And just let it go, because I was like, and part of it, and I'm going to tell you honestly, I live in a small town and we have an ice cream shop here in town that has the best salted caramel, buttered truffle ice cream. And I would go and have a double scoop. But you're talking $7.
Yeah, because it is there.
For ice cream. It's premium ice cream. And well, guess what? I've given up this summer and this fall. And I have not been for ice cream in a couple of months now.
Wow.
And I'm like, I didn't die. I didn't die without ice cream.
We're laughing at that, but on the serious note of that, you're so right. Because a lot of us feel like we're not going to be able to move forward or whatever. We're just going to die without certain things. And then, like you just said, you didn't die. You're still here.
Didn't die.
You're good.
I'm still here.
Save some money,
I got really in touch with, do I really need this? No, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things of setting an intention, is to get in touch with what you want your life to feel like.
Yes.
Do you want to be excited? Do you want to be peaceful? Well, if you want to be peaceful, don't start an argument with your spouse.
Or friend.
Or your friends. Or, don't get mad at the person who cuts you off in traffic. A friend of mine, his road rage was so bad that one time he hit his dashboard and cracked his dashboard.
See, now look at that.
And that was the moment he knew that he had to change.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I have got to release this inner and find out what was underneath it.
Yes. I always say something deeper.
There's something deeper. Yeah. So what is it that is keeping you stuck where you are? What do you have to face?
Yeah.
And then I think one of the biggest things is self-compassion, self-forgiveness. Huge. Forgive yourself for where you are. I mean, you've made some, I'm talking to the choir here and I'm talking to myself. I have made some really less than stellar decisions.
Yeah, me too.
I'm less than stellar decisions. And of course, when they come back to bite you,
ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Some bites are little bites, and some bites are really big.
Bites are bites, and some of them they come back and bite you, and you know where. And you go, ooh, that hurt. Yeah. However, by taking responsibility, okay, yeah, I did that. Yeah. But so and so made me do it. Yeah, no, but you chose to do it. No one can make you do anything. But they made me do it. Yeah, they made me do it. But you chose to do it, or not do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes not doing something is, we already talked about it in the first bit. Mm-hmm. How often have we gotten to the edge of something and not taken the step that we knew that we should take? And then a life of regret later. Yeah. Why didn't I do that?
I'm like, oh.
Why did I let fear stop me from doing that?
Yeah.
And we all have those things in our lives.
Yeah.
And so so that's where it starts. Forgive yourself. This is the beginning of a new year. Forgive yourself for what went on last year. You have the ability to just start over.
There you go.
Every day. God's mercies are renewed every morning. Let's take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Set an intention to be more mindful of what's coming out of your mouth. Like, one of the words that I am totally striving to take out of my language is the word but. I really want to do that, but yeah, no, Barbara, get that word out of your language. Mm-hmm. I am going to do this because, or whatever it is, because the buts get you into trouble, and they knock you on your butt. Yeah. Let's just be honest with there, because that's it. And people want instant results. Well, it doesn't always work that way.
It doesn't always work that way. And and then you got to be true to yourself and don't let others guilt you into something. I need to bring that up because
exactly.
I listened to you about the butt, and sometimes people just don't, and we all been there where we be like in a network thing or training, and they're gonna, at the end, they're gonna offer this wonderful package that's probably priced down, where you're like, oh golly, that's a good price, but I just don't have it right now, right? And it's okay. Don't let them or anybody, I'm just using that example, to guilt you. Just say, you know what? I don't have it right now.
Right.
You put a butt to it. Some people feel like they have to make an excuse, and they say, well, and I really would want that. And you know how people go into the whole dance and song routine. And it's like, sometimes just be straightforward.
Right.
So
that's not my budget right now. That's not in my budget right now.
My budget right now.
Thanks for your offer.
And there's nothing wrong with what you're selling or putting together. I'm not even saying that. But right now it's not in my budget. Maybe next time, And then leave it alone, and then feel good about your answer.
Exactly.
Feel confident about it. Move forward with it. Don't let it linger, because we do that too. It's that sometimes it's buyer's remorse. When you buy something, you're like, well, I should have bought that. Then it goes the opposite way. Well, maybe I should have bought it. I told them I didn't have it, but maybe I could have borrowed something like that. That could have, how it goes on your brain's going. It's like, let it go. Make a decision. You got it. Move it forward.
Yep. Because, one of the things that I have really learned over this financial thing that I've had is that, you know what? Everything comes around again. All these great offers that people have, well, guess what? It'll come around again.
Yeah.
And the next time it might be I had one of those things just a month or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, gee, and the first time it was like, yeah, no, not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second time around it was like, oh, you know what? That is a wise investment in a tool, because it was a tool.
Yeah. So if it helps.
And the thing is, so when I said yes to that one paid tool,
mm-hmm.
they brought a couple of other free tools to the table. Oh,
bonuses.
I have like our little bonus of a free thing that now I'm using, because I said yes to the one tool that was like, but I really thought get that word "but" out of my head, out of my wording. I did think seriously about it and say, am I really going to do this? And it took me several days. Think about stuff. You don't need to make a fast decision. You don't have to make a fast decision.
And one thing, just to add to what you're saying, is, when you're making, especially business decisions, especially because there's so many things out there, like you said, make sure it aligns with what you're trying to do in the long run.
Right.
I mean, you just got to just make that make some wisdom going on there, right? I mean, every day, I mean, there's so many things I can buy. I mean, I be in networks. We both be in bar, be in a whole lot of those things, right? Including we do our own. And, we can just, buy. And it's like, okay, if I get this, is this going to help me move the needle and where I'm trying to go? And if it doesn't, then like, well, maybe this could sit for a minute. Maybe this is not it right now. Or maybe it will help me move the needle and I need to invest in it, like Barbara said. And then you never know, you get the bonuses, because they always have those bonuses too.
And there's a little bonus.
But you always got to just look in your mind and say, do I really, really need, like Barbara was saying with the ice cream. I mean, you say, do I really, what's your intention for it? That's what we got to go back to. What's the intention?
Why did I want it?
Product.
Why did I want it?
Yeah. And then you got to look at the fact too, you have somewhere, it's a $1,500 and we can put you on a 4 or 5 payment plan. Okay. Then you got to look at that. Do I want to invest in this?
Right.
Now, this investment is going to be every month for 4 or 5 months out. So,
exactly.
And then again, you got to look at the whole thing, the whole picture. Is this going to do me any justice of what I'm trying to get to? Yeah.
Because I have been known to do that. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it like in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Well, then, of course, in a couple of months, guess what? They've come out with something newer. So I've spent money on something. Yeah. Oh yeah, but now this isn't the latest version of it. Because technology is improving so phenomenally. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Today I came on to StreamYard. StreamYard has done some enhancements.
Yeah, they did. I'm looking at them.
And I went, well, now isn't this just peachy clean and nice? But this is a but. This is a legitimate but. I got when I came on to StreamYard the other day, they upped their price by more than a couple of dollars. However, the enhancements I'm thinking I might like. However, so I'm willing to pay a little bit more for them. However, it was like, ooh, gee, yeah, they've really upped to their price, and I'm not knowing that they've come in with a few enhancements of settings and things that we're going to be able to do. And it was like, oh, okay, I guess this isn't quite so bad as what I thought it was when I first heard of the rise in price.
Yeah.
However, I'm thinking I'm going to like the enhancements.
Yeah. And see, that's a good example of what you showed. And with me, the same thing with the StreamYard. And I was thinking to myself, this is where I talk about thinking about, is this going to help you in your long run goals or whatever, but you're trying to do attention. So for me, you know, me and Barbara, we're doing shows all the time. Not just this show, but we have other shows.
We have both of them.
StreamYard is the main thing that I use.
Right,
so it's a tool that I need because it's not only is a nice tool, but also it's helped me in my business to move forward. So yeah, I do have to invest or find another platform, either or. I mean, you could do that too. But if you've been using this and they're adding enhancements to it and it's really enhancing what you're doing, then why? Just pay the extra money. It's an investment which you're doing in your business. So yeah, so that's when you take a stand and say, okay, I have to do this. Yeah, but if you're just using it once in a blue moon,
it's not worth it. Right? Are you using it? And there were several of the tools that I had that I was paying like $100 a month for, and talk about return on investment. Am I really? But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not. This is not a good use of my investment. And so I discontinued them. And you know, to tell you the truth, I don't miss them.
And sometimes, most of the time, something that happens though, Barbara. It's like once you get rid of whatever, then all of a sudden you don't even feel like it's like after a while, it's like, what? I don't even.
Yeah, I don't even miss it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the thing is though, because they're coming out with new tools all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like you said, better. Yeah.
So right now I've got a couple of new tools because I let the old ones go. Got some new ones that are like, ooh, I really like this. So, and which is fun. And then that makes what you're doing fun.
Yeah. And then you're learning even more. See?
And you're learning more.
Yeah.
And you know what to do and what not to do.
Yes. So overall, Barbara, see how we have our wonderful topics and stuff we learn, and time just goes and just like, wow.
Yeah.
So any lasting thoughts, Ms. Queen?
Just set your intentions from what you value in your life. What do you want? What do you want? What makes your heart sing? Because you're like, I always think of it as being your future you. What do you want your future you to look like in 5 years from now?
Oh, that's good.
We all have an image of, and whether we choose to admit it or not, we all have a little, ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Tap into that. Wouldn't it be nice if I could do that? And then take one step forward to that.
Yes.
And if you don't know which step to take, reach out. Reach out to one of us. Yeah. Like for me, one of the things that I say to my people all the time is that, you know, people buy products and services from people that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in order for people to know, like, and trust you, they have to know who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Why do you do it? Not why does your neighbor do it, or why does your brother do it, or why does your father do it? Why do you do it? And that's the piece. Why do you do what you do? And if you can't answer that, that's what you need to start with first. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Ooh, good knowledge. Thank you, Barbara. Well, this is it. So you've been watching the Time to Shine Happiness show with the BBs, as we always call it. We want to leave you, you know, for the new year, you know, focus on process, not the outcome. Not the outcome. Your stress level will go down so much. I'm telling you right now, so
exactly.
Much. Yes.
Exactly.
So with that said, we will see you on another episode of Time to Shine Happiness show, and we will make sure that you're just out there reaching out. Do a check-in with somebody. Say hello to somebody. Send a heart emoji or something. But just make sure you check in with others because it's so important right now. Show the love, as I always say.
Exactly. So have a great one. Bye, everybody. Well, goodbye, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to the Time to Shine Happiness Show. I'm your host, Barbara Ellison, and I look forward to seeing you next time, where we will have a great guest talking about making happiness the norm rather than the exception. Because, you know, we believe that each and every one of us deserves to lead a happy, healthy, debt-free, abundant life, whatever that means to you. So join us again. And please, to get reminded, hit the subscribe button or the like button wherever you're listening to us. And we will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.